A text that incorporates two or more forms, including written language, verbal language, visual images, audio, and movement, is known as a multimodal text. Adam Hammold, who is a professor at the University of Toronto who works in the Department of English, believes that the collision of digital and printed forms of literature shouldn't be seen as a catastrophe, but as a huge opportunity. Storytellers use numerous digital resources to improve their story. In a good interactive text, the writers make you, the reader, forget that you are reading, listening, and watching. Digital storytelling isn't restricted to the stories it communicates, but also about the discussion it creates. It's not a choice of classics or digital writing, says McKnight. It's only that we don't value books, it's that there are more possibilities for us to access with digital technology. Multimodal texts allow the readers to respond in a more practical way and engage with the text. Composers apply a range of oral, textual, and visual techniques to change our perceptions of what we hear, read, and see. Communicational technologies have the ability to reach a wide audience for a variety of reasons, making them an important form of communication in today's globalized world. It focuses on the importance of all the possibilities that are enabled through the use of these texts. Two texts that are examples of this are The Boat and Juko's Story. Matt Hugh is a visual artist who adapted an interactive text called The Boat. We are able to see the contrasting relationship between loneliness and fear through the use of this multimodal text. McKnight suggests that the digital texts such as The Boat give us more opportunities to connect with relevant knowledge. Because of our multimodal engagement, it illustrates how heartbreaking it is to be a refugee, and due to the fact that we interact with the narrative, we have a shared responsibility. Through the scrolling images and words, we see that Maya, the main character, sits alongside the worn people below deck. As Maya turns off her mind, a gentle white brightness reveals her frail body, and the others around her fade away. The idea that she is silent suggests that she has closed off her mind. Fear has devoured the ship's atmosphere in the story's background, but the writers emphasize that loneliness is more damaging than fear by showing us that it is consuming her mind in particular. She was crammed in by a boatload of human bodies, thinking of her father, becoming overwhelmed slowly with loneliness, as much loneliness as fear. This demonstrates that even though Maya was in an area full of people, she still felt isolated and lonely. It was making these characters strong enough for the readers to empathize with, these people who are completely vulnerable. Through the visual artist Matt Hugh revealing to the readers how daunting and awful it would have been on ship, the readers are able to connect and empathize with refugees, which is able to bring up discussion about sensitive topics. Through the use of communicational technologies, they are able to convey the harsh, crude, severe conditions that the refugees have to go to get to safety. This is what a good interactive story is able to accomplish. Juko shared her story of her experience of the Hiroshima bomb, which has now been made into an interactive text called Juko's Story. She talks about the survival of both individuals and communities. The text illustrates how they respond at this time of crisis and how it reflects on their moral character. They convey the human spirit and the determination to live despite so much death and damage, which correlates back to the theme of survival. This is portrayed throughout the text through images of chaos and destruction. Through the detailed information panels on the side, we can see how destructive this bomb was to everyone in a 5-kilometer radius. These images force us to feel empathy towards everyone who was in this situation, through showing us the after effects it had on everything, including the radiation causing cancer, to everyday items such as cups, clocks that are now destroyed, leaving the families and communities with nothing. Through the creators of this text incorporating all these images together, it creates more meaning and directly shows you the challenges they had to face. The text not only tells us about that day, but also illustrates to us using simple but detailed drawings. The illustrator and art director, Nancy Ling and Matt Smith, worked to combine a subtle colour scheme and creative use of dark and light. These paired with shifting views and intelligent designs make for a powerful combination. The site has a lot of attention to detail, notably in the information hotspots. This text enables social media as a way that we convey messages in new forms, not just a written word. From this multimodal text, we are able to get a deeper insight into the devastations of the Hiroshima bomb. There's an estimated 15,000 nuclear warheads in the world today. Many of them are far more powerful than the atomic bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. As we can see from this quote, the intention of the interactive text was to raise awareness and start conversations concerning the use of atomic bombs and how devastating and lethal they can be. This interactive text can cause debates about whether dropping the bomb was worth stopping World War II for, due to the fact that only a few Americans questioned that the nuclear bomb had ended World War II and spared American lives. A few felt sympathetic towards Japan after nearly 4 years of conflict. The collision of digital and printed forms of literature shouldn't be seen as catastrophic, but as a huge opportunity. From the two previously analysed texts, The Boat and Duca's Story, we can see that they didn't include their previous biases or moral statements, giving people an opportunity to feel more connected to individuals by hearing their experiences, as though they were coming directly from their own mouths. These nonlinear texts have guided people to think about the different ethical issues around the world. Multimodal texts enable the readers to interact and connect with the text in a more practical way, making it a huge opportunity to advance in digital media, as seen in the two texts, The Boat and Duca's Story. It provides a greater variety of people who have diverse needs to engage with text. Diverse media is more contemporary and relevant to our modern audiences. Again, it doesn't mean that books aren't valid, it's just another form of learning. Thank you.